continue to tell me about the food stamp program? What happens when you get the cards there?
Well, after you get the cards, well, you go, in the month's time you go down there too. They got another place down there. You go there, and then after you present that, well then you have to pay your money and then you get the food stamp.
But then how do you use the food stamps when you get them?
Well, you can just take them and then go to the store and get your basket and get whatever you want. And then go to the counter and then the man check it up. And then he dictated leaves out of the food stamp, out of the book. How much it's supposed to be.
Do you use it just like money?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You say that?
Use it that like you do money.
How do they give you change?
Well, if you owe him $1 and you got a $2 stamp, well, then he reach and get a 50% coupon, food stamp, and give it to you. That way give you change. Just like you do money.
Standing here alone, looking off to the sky. Even the stars seem to be mated, and I ask myself why. I can't understand why I never made a play when you were so gentle to me in every way. Why couldn't I see you were in love with me? Why didn't I know just which way to go? Now I must suffer. Now I must suffer. Oh Lord, I don't know why I have to suffer. What will I become? Loneliness blends with some. But dear, for me, I already see I don't want you away from me. If only I had the mind to give you some kind of sign. This may not have been, hear me, standing out looking in. Why couldn't I see you were in love with me? Why didn't I know just which way to go? Now I must suffer. Now I must suffer. Oh Lord, I don't know why I have to suffer. Why couldn't I see you were in love with me? Why didn't I know just which way to go? Now I must suffer. Now I must suffer. Now I must suffer. Now I must suffer.
I got 5 heads. On a Friday, almost did on a Sunday when I went there, the house at the corner farm, Saturday night. I went there Sunday morning. I told him about the house at the corner farm. Well then, he said he sent somebody down there Monday, fixed it, the chimney. Well, he did. Well then after then he came down and told me he didn't have no land for me to wait. He said he had to pay $1 an hour. And he couldn't afford nobody. He told me that I'd have to hunt to someplace else to go. One day that
How did it come about to move?
well, I didn't have no way to move. So I came to Shelby. I see my cousin. She told me she had a little location down here that I could move in it if I'd get the windows to put in it. So I see my brother and he said, well, I have a few windows that go in there. So you could take them and get on there and put them in there. So that's what I did. And then I didn't have no way to move then.
You can't just talk right to me.
And then
talk to me and tell me what.
Well, I didn't.
Have you looked for work? Have you found any work?
No, sir. I'll find a way. I looked around. I've been looking around ever since I've been here. And since December, I ain't found anything.
What kind of work have you looked for?
Well, I went to the lumber sheds and different places. Went to the sea company once.
Have you ever done anything with farming?
That's all. All I did was farm all of my life.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
How many children do you have? Your family?
No, sir. I have one girl. She ain't able to work. She can't see good or nothing like that. That's the only child I have that ain't able. Because the other children, neither one of them ain't big enough to work. Because they ain't but 10 years old. 220, they 10 years old. And the other girl, she's 11. The other two little young, this is 3 and the other is a year and 8 months.
There are a lot of families down here where they have left the area. Have you ever considered leaving, going north or somewhere else?
Well, I did, but when you ain't got nothing to go with.
When you say you did what?
I did one time.
No, if you'd say, I did think about leaving.
The way where you just have to take it easy. That's all you can do.
Well, food stamp program and how you use it?
Well, I tell you, the food stamp is better. The food stamp would keep us living, because if it wasn't for the food stamp, we wouldn't have anything to eat. Food stamp, you can go and buy mostly anything you want at the store.
You find it's a hard time getting up the money to buy food stamps?
Yes, sir. I really have. I had a hard time get up the money. If you hadn't came by and give me the money, well, I'd have been in bad shape. Because we wouldn't done anything but pick a little cotton, $1.50, and that wouldn't get in the food stamp.
Could you tell me about that again without making any reference to me? I don't want that on the film. Say that
Well, I tell you, I didn't have any money to buy any food stamps. And we were picking $1.50 cotton, and we couldn't buy no food stamp for that.
What do you mean $1.50 cotton?
Well, we snap a cotton for $1.50 cotton. Snap it for different people.
What is the $1.50 for? Is that for a day of work?
That's for 100 pounds of cotton.
How long does it take to pick 100 pounds of cotton?
Well, I couldn't exactly tell you. It take a pretty good while. You could sometimes you can't pick 100 pounds a whole day. When you go to the welfare over there, you have to have something like your count. Man have to give you a paper. Go to the master's house and they give you a blank. You have to go to the plantation owner and let them fill it. How much money that you are on a year round. And then after he fixed that, you take that to the welfare. And then they'll fill out, you have to fill out another form. Then they ask you, or at least be on the blank, how many children you got, how many in the family, and all that. And then after you do that, well, then they tell you, say, after they sign you up, they tell you, well, you will mail your card. After they mail your card, and then you can go get your stamp. You take that in.
Hold up for just a second.
Familiar music, familiar sound. There's mutual thoughts for the underground. Long range sight for an eternal night. Future prophecy for the mass you see. There'll be equal stay and equal play. where none can betray. The underground. We'll all turn black. So who's to know? As a matter of fact, color, creed, and breed must go. There will be no light, so there can be no sight. And you'll judge your fellow man, understand, by what is right. Familiar music, familiar sound. There's mutual thoughts for the underground. The underground. The underground.
Now you know Brother Gregory is going to be running for that independent thing called mayor. Stand up there, dude. Between Daley and the CIA, if he lived, we might give him a running chance. But fight for our liberation. That's very, very important, see? That means that we're not going to be celebrating February 21st anymore, the day that Brother Malcolm got assassinated. We're going to be celebrating May 9th, the day he was born to fight for us. Now, what they always have us doing is they always have us celebrating somebody who was killed on the day he was killed. Don't nobody celebrate Abraham Lincoln's assassination. They celebrate his birthday. And we must celebrate the birthday of our heroes. Yeah? Now, in line with that, that means that we got to start getting our own heroes. We can't let white people pick our heroes for us anymore. Can't be talking about no George Washington who didn't cut down a cherry tree but had slaves. We gonna pick our heroes, and they're gonna be the Frederick Douglasses. They're gonna be the Du Bois. They're gonna be the Marcus Garveys. They're gonna be the Richard Wrights. They're gonna be the Malcolm X's. They're gonna be the Curtis Forsters. We're gonna pick our heroes. Nobody will pick them for us. The Jews will be putting fire on them. In this country, everybody exploits Africa, and we sit here and look at them with our hands folded like dumb fools.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't have a concept of peoplehood. Now, the next thing we've got to do is to develop a political sophistication among black people in this country. Mao Tse-tung has got his red guards. Ho Chi Minh has got the young NFL. In Ghana, they've got the young black guards. And we don't have anything in this country. We've got to start developing the minds of black people to a political sophistication and add to that the will to fight. So if the politics don't work, we know what will.
Yeah, black power.
introduction into this country wasn't so we could have freedom and justice and equality. We were brought here so white people could have a better life off our sweat.
That's right.
And that's how the country has always operated. White people always have a good time off of us. They don't care about us. They never have and they never will.
Believe it.
And instead of us caring about ourselves, we're so busy caring about them.
Yeah, that's right.
People don't use the word black power. You scare white folk. How many times they call you nigger? You tell them not to use the word?
Yeah, tell them about call them that right
Do you ever hear them get up and tell another white man, don't use the word nigger because you will alienate some black people?
No.
But you use the word black power, and they're going to jump up there and tell you, don't use it because you're going to alienate some of our good white friends. It's about time we talk to black people later for white folk.
Really?
Now, there's a young generation of blacks coming into this country. They made a mistake when they assassinated Malcolm X. And now you're beginning to see some of those young people up here. When these people run for office and you put them in, we have to know, because they live in the same ghettos we do, they face the same problems we do, and we fighting each other instead of fighting our common enemy.
That's right.
You don't know? You can start off with daily. Because when they did that, that's when we started to move to take care of business.
Tell them about it.
And that's because...
What about you in the front row? Stand up.
You can start off with daily. You can move up to Lyndon Bird Johnson. Now then, one other very important thing that we have to do. We must start to turn our backs on this country. We've got to turn our backs on this country.
Yeah, tell them like it is.
This country has never cared about black people.
That's right.
They don't give two damns about us. And all of us always turn around worrying about what's good for America, what's good later for America, what's good for black people. That's what we want to do.
Black power! Black power! Stand up for daily, stand up for your candidates. If daily walking, everybody stand up.